All right. Hello, everybody. I am here, or we are all here representing RPH Alley. I'm Sean. We have Eric up top, and we have Tammy Davis over to my side. So we're talking about support and burnout today. So Tammy Davis is our burnout thought leader. She has a burnout channel. I'm going to let her talk more about that in a minute. And Eric up top has a support program within RPHLF for pharmacists, more on peer support, substance use disorder, and things like that. So we're going to kick it off with Tammy first. Tammy, hello. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello. Thank you for having this call.
Yes. So can you give us a little bit of background about you and why is burnout so important and how you're going to help pharmacists through RPHLI?
Well, a little bit about me is I started out in pharmacology over 40 years ago, and within a very short amount of time, I was exposed to essential oils in the sense of how they are studied and applied into drug development. And if I just to kind of like to sum it all up, after a lifetime of being a super mom, an overachiever, and have to have all my ducks in a row. I mean, there was just and everything could be done by me. I mean, it was just there. I developed a series of health issues, and even though we're talking cancer, there was autoimmune, there was different. Nothing seemed related, and none of it made sense to me. So I devoted my time to understanding there had to be a connection. Something inside of me told me there has to be a connection. What is the connection? And so I dug into it. I have devoted my life, the last 25 years really, of understanding how oils affect the body uniquely. And in the process of developing programs around that, I came across what we now refer to as the stress response and how it actually impacts the brain, it impacts our behavior, and how we can actually begin to lean into this and utilize it for what it's actually teaching us, how we can learn to I don't want to say live with it and not just manage it, but actually recognize it, use it to our advantage, and literally be free of the impact that it's having on you. And yes, I do talk about oils because they are a part of this, but they're not the solution. I teach you how to integrate them into a protocol, and it can even support pharmacists with being having conversations with patients about this, because 65% of the U.S. population takes medications at this point, and 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 the industry itself, essential oil industry itself, is in fact it's like almost $1 trillion industry. Many people are using it. And so the idea here is to make this an experiential process where we begin to work with the stress that we're experiencing, identify what's actually the source of our stress. And the other day I actually posted on the channel that way I see stress, it's a leadership issue, because we're resisting something within our immediate life circumstances. And how can we rise to that call to be leaders? And like I said, to be free of that. And when we do this, then we're in the space to be able to do this with others and actually lead our patients and lead those that we serve into a way of being healthier. But it really begins with us getting a handle on what stress really is. And what I learned through my journey is that stress is not the bad guy like it's been made out to be. It really has a lot of there's an advantage to it. We just got to learn how to work with it. So when on my channel, what we're doing is, I don't want to say making peace with it, but it's not your typical self-care channel where we're just talking about how to take care of yourself so that you can alleviate it's not a Band-Aid. Let me just put it to you that way. We're not looking at a Band-Aid. We're looking at resolution, because everyone here is a leader. And that's my call to action, is how can we step up into our leadership roles so that we can lead our health, we can lead our wellness, and we can lead our patients and our coworkers around us into a healthier environment altogether. That is me.
I love it. How does that fit with you, Eric, as far as, because these two
Yeah.
support channels are very complementary, and,
Yeah.
and so what you bring to the table, it probably resonates a lot with your past and what you're trying to do for pharmacy here.
Yeah, it was neat listening to Tammy explain, about essential oils and, just stress and how you can use, it sounded like essential oils to help reduce stress and burnout and just increase your well-being. I mean, that's definitely one way to do it. Mine is kind of tackling the same problem, but instead of something like essential oils, we're using peer support. So if I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed and anxious about whatever's going on in my life, there's a variety of directions we can go. We can go to a doctor, we can get medication, we can go to therapy, do all sorts of different things. We can use essential oils. What worked best for me was peer support. I graduated with my PharmD in 2012, and it wasn't too long after that I started going down this path that ended up in trouble with the State Board of Pharmacy, struggling with a substance use disorder. And I was trying to kind of figure all out just by myself. I didn't have a peer support group where I could go to and ask for help. And yes, it was very stressful. It was very overwhelming. It was very depressing. I felt very much alone. And it wasn't till, much later in my journey that I really started to form a peer support network. And once I did, it provided me all sorts of relief and comfort that I was unable to find through any other means. And I realized that if I had developed a support group and started reaching out for help through my peers sooner in my journey, I likely would have had a better outcome. So what I want to do, having taken the very difficult path in my career and in my life, is to kind of connect with people before they get that far and try to keep them on the right path by helping them, by providing advice and suggestions on what they can do so they don't go further down the path. And if they are far down the path, hey, that's perfectly fine too. It doesn't need to get any worse. What can we do to make things better?
It's amazing. I think they both, it almost sounds like, Eric, you'll be a funnel for Tammy, right? Because like if you're seeing somebody at that level where they need that help, they really can't deal with their stress very well, peer support is there, and one of the best ways to handle that and just to talk about it. But you also have Tammy's channel to help really kind of get to the root problem as well and deal with it in a healthy way. So awesome stuff. Go ahead, Tammy.
I just wanted to say, Eric, that I have actually done this work in treatment facilities and helping people recover from substance abuse and trauma recovery. So it really is very helpful, and I would love to be able to do tag team with you for sure, because it makes a big difference with the way the neural pathways process information. So that's I would love to talk with you more about that, because that's exciting.
Yeah, I know. I've never gotten to essential oils too much myself, but I'll tell you, Tammy, you would love my wife. I think it was for one of her birthdays a year or two ago. She wanted an essential oil rack because she's really into essential oils. She has them all over this place. They were filling up all of our drawers in our bathroom and all these different ones used for different things, stuff that I knew nothing about. So now we have this huge essential oil rack in our bedroom. The thing's probably like 2 foot wide by 3 or 4 foot tall, just filled with all these different essential oils. And she uses them all the time for everything. I've learned a little bit about it over time, but there's definitely some therapeutic value in essential oils, and it's neat to have that as an option for different ailments.
Well, I'm jealous you sleep in an apothecary.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, this has been great to get you two together. It's been too long. We should have gotten you two together before this. But everyone here watching this will be seeing a lot more of Eric and Tammy going forward. You can connect with them in RPH Alley. Go to either the Sport channel or Tammy's Burnout channel, and start picking their brains there for ways to deal with your stress or whatever predicament you're in. So
that's right.
Thank you both for joining. We'll see you here next week.
Thank you.
Sean. All right, Tammy. Bye, everyone.